Hey everybody, it's Art Fight.
Hey! Art fight, it's happening
It's happening
right
right
now.
now, right now.
It's
You can go on the site.
code fucking red, guys.
I think we need to start with something very important, the bets that
Oh,
we placed.
oh, yeah. I look, not to gloat, but I was surprisingly correct that the site would be fine.
Yes, the site
Like
was
second
so
day
fine.
onward.
And
It
but
was actually it was really good.
I will say, because I want to talk about the site more,
Mhm.
but I will say I won the slow mode bet. I can't believe you thought it
You
was going to
did.
be like, what did you say, like 6 minute like slow mode?
I have no idea what I
10 minutes
said.
slow mode? No,
But
30-minute slow mode in general one.
that's insane to
And
me.
15 in general two. It's
Oh my,
wild.
15?
Yeah, it was 15 in Gen 2. I think the off topics were like 5 minutes, which is insane. Normally it's like 5 seconds in off topic.
Oh my god, that is insane.
Yeah, it was crazy to me.
I can imagine. Oh my gosh. Was that like when it opened?
That was like what?
Art
Yeah.
fight?
Well, that was like the first day.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, the site. Well, I feel like we should like give like a little clap, a little round of applause to the site and to Pika, because it didn't go down
It yeah, it
at all.
only they only had to bring like maintenance. It was
Yeah.
really and that doesn't count. I know
Yeah.
I was
Maintenance
seeing
does
some
not
people
count.
being like art fight down when like
Yeah.
maintenance
No. No. No.
was
Guys.
happening. It's like that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That
Guys.
doesn't count.
We didn't. People were like, oh, I will say, okay, if a little bit of Damie lore, I like
Yeah.
being in the server, especially in Gen 1 specifically when Art Fight starts. I've done that every year since I was in like Sugar v Spice, and it's just my little like
Mhm.
pre-fight thing, like to get me like hyped up, so I can like start drawing right away. Like I love being in there. I love seeing people. I will say
Mhm, mhm.
it was pretty bad this year. It was
Wait,
pretty bad.
was it? Was not in there.
I'm glad you weren't. I feel
Oh
like
no.
this kind of segues very well into like one of the topics that we're probably going to spend a lot of time talking about. So like I can just
Probably.
start because I'm more active in the Discord than you
Mhm.
are, which is yeah, good. Don't. If you're thinking
I
about
love
being active in the Discord, just don't. Just don't act.
don't.
Um, but like so normally like the issues that we get are like okay, people are like spamming links, people are like asking for characters too much, people are cheating and
Mhm.
then telling on themselves in the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say there was no link spam. I have not seen a single like wall of blue, which is like the little code name for like just people spamming their art fight links, which is pretty
Mhm.
impressive because we used to have that a lot. We used to have that like a
I
lot.
remember that was a giant issue like
Yeah.
last year. Every time I would click into chat, there would just be like someone being like, "Hey, can people link me like these characters?" And then like swarms of people would link
Yeah. Or
characters.
just people being like, okay, time to drop your art fight links. And then just everyone drop their art fight links. Um,
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I will say though that like in a kind of like fucked up way, I I actually liked that when it wasn't like 5 billion people doing it. Like when it was like a good amount of people, it actually did like get me to go to people's profiles because target hunting is like too fast, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cute when it's not like everyone.
Yeah. The
I
issue
think
is that it's
it's
always
sweet to just
everyone.
be like, "Hey, our fight link," and a few people drop it. I think that's sweet. And I remember seeing that before, and it was not common practice for
Yeah.
almost. I've seen so many people reply to those, like so many people, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. I will say though that like the asking for characters is pretty bad right now and
Yeah.
continues to be. Like instead of putting that in target hunting, and that was really bad on the first day. The
Ooh.
thing that like really is kind of worrying though is like
Hmm.
a lot of and I'll start with this one because there's another big one, but like there was a lot of like pretty aggressive like comments against like the staff, which
Wait, really?
I just want to say, like, as a veteran, like, knock it off, A, and B, that's just really embarrassing. If I see you in chat, like, complaining about how, oh, Artfight gets so much money, why don't they buy better servers? I'm just not gonna, I'm gonna, like, block you on site. I'm not even, like, kidding. Like, don't attack me if you say stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh
Because,
my gosh.
like, the amount of times I had to go, hey guys, by the way, there's one coder, and they don't get paid for the work they do, and they're pulling, like, after their job, their day job that they go to, they're, like, doing a bunch of maintenance. Like, that's why the maintenance is so late at night. Like, and I can't believe the amount of times I had to say that. It's...
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I didn't realize that it was such a big issue this year. Like, staff regression to staff, I mean. Like, I don't know, staff aggression sounds
Staff
like they're being
aggression.
aggressive, but it's not.
No, it was pretty bad.
That, oh my god, that's, like, horrible. I
Yeah.
guess it's, part of it would be, like, an influx of new people and just,
Yeah.
like, complaining. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are just haters now.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
don't know what's
honest.
up with the haters, guys. Can we be
I don't know
lovers
what's with the
instead?
hater movement. I think it's something about, okay, I don't want to sound, that's gonna make me sound like a really boomer old person, but I feel like TikTok definitely influences that.
I think part of it's Twitter,
I know
too.
that's-
Let's be honest.
Twitter
Like,
too. Twitter and TikTok. Hater mindset that breeds there.
it's interesting because I think it's really interesting because it's the first thing is it's gotten better. So like the first day was like bad.
Okay.
And a lot of us were trying to say like, guys, the site is like legitimately better. Like what can we do? Like what can we do but like tell you that the site used to not be up for like a week, you know? And like that this is
Literally
massive.
like not be available or usable for like
Yeah.
2 days maybe.
It would be just like
I was
down.
really impressed that even on the first day, I could still load the website.
Yeah.
It just took a while.
Yeah, the website actually loaded. Like, there's a reason we said,
Yeah,
like, save
That was
refs.
incredible.
Like, the
I
reason
know.
that people say save refs as images is because the website used to be unreachable. Like, people would only use Toy House links. And, like, Toy House would go down. Like, I'm pretty sure in Bloom v. Wither, like, we crashed Toy House because the site was down.
Wait, I think you're right, actually.
I remember that. Or maybe that was the year before. But there was one year we definitely crashed Toy House because...
I know there was definitely a year that happened, because I feel like I remember that, but I don't remember which year that was.
I will say this year, going to Toy House, it was slow the day on the first day. It was chugging.
That's so funny. I think I remember it chugging a little.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I was just like, the fact that people were being so, and I don't know, like invoking like the money side of stuff. I'm like, if you're not a donator and if you haven't been around for a while, it's kind of hard to understand like the nuances of like art fight donations. And I say that with all of the baggage that comes with it, you know?
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of baggage for sure, but I also just don't feel like saying it in like general
Yeah,
is really the
like-
way to complain, because the only people who are going to see that are staff that don't get paid.
Yes,
Like,
like that's just
most-
the mods.
Yeah, the mods do not get paid. It's like all volunteer stuff, buddy. Like, and I don't like they did. I feel like they clearly did put money into the servers. This
Oh yeah,
year.
they like explicitly said that. I just
Yeah.
like it. I don't know. That combined with the fact that people like don't read stuff, or like, I mean, people wouldn't read like the site status channel, you know, and they'd be like, "Is our fight down?" And it's
my
like,
God.
guys, there's maintenance happening. It gives you a thing that says there's maintenance happening. Like,
Dude, when people are like, "Is art fight down?" Or I've seen that. I saw that for a lot of people when it wasn't down, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, "I'm sorry, buddy."
and
You
then
just have really bad internet, I think.
it's so funny to me because like sometimes people will say, "Is art fight down?" And then another person with like a green leaf next to their name will be like, "Yeah, it's down." And I'm like, "No, it's not down, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you." Like,
it's really funny.
the misinformation this year is staggering.
Oh my gosh, no, true. It's it's interesting, I feel like. That's the nicest way I can put it.
Yeah. Well, one thing that you also probably haven't like experienced, just because like I'm usually in the server when I'm like doing nothing, is they've had like so they closed the help channels first off for like the first couple days because
I guess that makes sense.
it was smart to do that. Otherwise, they would have just gotten a million people asking, "Is artfight down?"
Yeah.
So they opened them back up recently, but there was a period of time of like 4 hours where like no mods were up, and it was like 10 a.m. Eastern. So this is like, you know, like people could be up, and it was just people had questions that were just like left unanswered for like multiple hours. So me and some other people tried to go, like other older users tried to go in and, you know, actually answer people's questions, and the amount of mini modding, because we were just in there answering questions with like a thing after it that said like, oh, plus 60 minutes, which is you're supposed to leave it for an hour, you know, before you answer the question.
Yeah.
And the amount of people who just came in and started answering questions who were like in the channel answering them like 5 minutes after, and then also being wrong about the answers, and then we couldn't reply because we were trying not to mini mod, was so annoying.
No, that's so bad.
Like, oh, the one thing that gets me so bad is when people ask about thumbnails. It has to be exactly 200 by 200 pixels, not smaller than 200 and 200 pixels. Exactly.
Was that a common? The way you're saying this makes me think that was like a common question.
Well, it's a common question that people answer wrong somehow.
Wait, how do they answer it wrong?
They're like, it can be smaller than 200 by 200. I'm like, if you try that, it won't work. You can look at it right now.
That won't work.
It will not work.
Why did they say that?
I don't know.
Very easily disprove it.
I know. That's
so
but I
why
feel
would
like
you want your thing smaller than 200 pixels?
Yeah, the Discord is just kind of a mess this year in general.
Sounds like it, yeah. I guess it's always kind of a mess, but it sounds especially more so this year.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest issues is the attack begging.
Yeah. Yeah, that I am not very active in the Discord. But I will say that I have seen that behavior, and I have throughout the years. That's not like a new thing.
It's not a new thing. Like people have done it for years, but it's just like because there's so many people.
Been bad. Like,
well, one of the I want to talk about like Spirit of Artfight in a second, but one of the things that I really think is honestly not on the new users who are mainly in the Discord is the Spirit of Artfight rules are like only listed on site. But some of them refer to the Discord, and those rules aren't in the Discord rules channel.
Really?
Like, point keeping is not allowed at all, right?
Yeah.
Which means that you can't say, like, vampires are winning, even. That is, if you're listening and you didn't know that, you're technically not allowed to say that in the Discord. Or, like, say, you know, vampires have this many points or whatever. But that rule is only on site? Like, only mentioned on site and not in the Discord, because I went to go say, like, hey, point keeping is not allowed, and I went to go cite the rules, and I looked at them, and I'm like, it's not in the rules. What? Where? What? Is it still
But
banned?
it's in the artfight on-site rules.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That is weird.
So, like, I get it.
That must have just been, like, an oversight.
Yeah, I think also, like, I don't think there's anything that says you can't beg for attacks in the rules, either.
That's probably true. I wouldn't be that surprised if that
there
was,
is. It's
is there?
Do not beg for or guilt trip people into giving you free art or designs. This includes attacks. So it doesn't say don't beg for attacks in big text, but
it does.
It does say it
don't
at
beg
least.
for attacks.
But there's still like
then never mind.
It does say it
I
more.
Still see that the issue.
It still says it more explicitly on site though.
It still says it what?
Like, more explicitly on site. That's where all the Spirit of Artfight rules are.
They should be in the Discord. I'm really confused that they aren't in the Discord.
It's really strange, actually.
But weird. I wonder if...
Oh, you go.
the mod ever sees this, tell us why.
I
Not
just
in the
don't think
Discord.
they've been updated. TBH.
Probably not.
Um,
Yeah, I think they should definitely add those though. I feel like it would help a lot of new users because I feel like the new users will look at the Discord because the Discord does not have as much, I guess, like lag
oh yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
people would experience.
And also, it's
So
a little
then,
bit easier to see a channel called Rules than like find it on the artfight site under a drop down.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
I
was gonna say, speaking of Spirit of Artfight, what's your vibe on the Spirit vibes this year?
the spirit. I have to admit, I don't think people are honoring the spirit of art fight lately. I don't.
It's a
I
hot
don't
take.
feel it this year.
That is a
I
hot
know.
take.
I know it's a really hot take, and I'm really sorry. But I've just seen so much of an influx of people because honestly, scrolling on Instagram, I've been seeing stuff like explicitly for art fight and like memes for art fight,
Oh wow.
which I've never seen before, and that is so interesting to me. And so I know that there's an influx of a lot of new people that are probably coming in from just people talking about it, which is crazy, and that's really cool. But I also think that a lot of new people, because I think a lot of new people in general already fell into this mindset, but like it was on a smaller scale. But now there's a lot of new users.
Yeah.
I just think people tend to view this like, how do I word this really? Because it's not like people will view it for receiving and not about giving. I feel like people care more about the art that they get more than the art that they want to give.
Yeah. I think so. It's kind of interesting because I also agree that like it normally when I'm in the Discord, right, and it's like pre-art fight, it's like art fight eve and like the first day, like the general energy is like very positive and like very excited and like very supportive. But like this year, it literally didn't feel like art fight was happening. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
oh my god,
it took me like a couple days to like even be like, yeah, wait, art fight's like happening right now. And honestly, I don't know if that's just because like I haven't seen a lot of the regular people that I normally see in chat. Like I think a lot of the regulars have just not stayed in the server because it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Or if it's like, I don't know, like I mean, because you know we're around the same age, right? In the same age like bracket, and like as we get older, like you know, it's harder for us to just like pump out attacks, and like we want to do more meaningful things, and you know, people kind of. It's not like we're drawing like 7 things on the first day. Like we're taking some time to ramp up into it. So, right now, I like am feeling like, oh yeah, it's art fight. Like let's draw some stuff. Like I'm hyped about it. But yeah, the first day I was like, what's happening? This doesn't feel like art fight right now.
Yeah, I wasn't even like in the in the art fight like headspace on the first day. Really,
Yeah.
I don't even think I did anything. I didn't even think about art fight on the first day. I like went out. I was doing stuff.
It's actually based as hell.
So kind of
Hot
me.
art fight tip: don't play art fight.
just don't play. True.
Just go touch grass.
Honestly, I saw a Garfield clock. And I really awesome.
Yo, that's so sick.
I know. I didn't get it. I wish I did. That's so unrelated. But anyway, like, I just, and I haven't done any attacks recently, which hasn't been intentional. I've been planning attacks, but I've been having a chronic pain flare up, which isn't fun. Because if you don't know me, my chronic pain is in my hands. So,
yeah, Clem got fucked over hard by life.
Yeah.
Which sucks so bad.
But
I can't imagine that. But I feel like at least, like for me, because I know there was a bunch, like I have to do work during this time.
yeah.
And like it is kind of nice to have something that you have to do that's not art, because it gets you more excited about when you get to do art.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, for sure.
Which is kind of nice. But it also just sucks that you don't just get to like sit down and draw.
Yeah. I remember I used to do that a lot last year's. I would just be so excited and I would dedicate the whole day to drawing.
Yeah, I do that. Except like, I don't know. I've just been balling, I guess. Like,
Balling?
Yeah, I've been balling. I like a lot of the attacks that I've done so far. Like like overall, I will say. So my ratio is kind of not doing too hot. But
Well, that's okay.
it's okay. We're getting there. I really have a feeling that people will burn out very fast. I don't think a lot of people are going to last halfway through the month, going to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like that kind of happens a lot.
Because I see a lot of people doing a lot of attacks, and like I've already started to see people who are like, "Oh, lol, I'm burned out." Like, it's only been 5 days, like, or 4 days yesterday.
Oh, that's awful.
It's because people get so excited and they want to do it all. But I'm like, you know, if you do one attack a day for the whole month, you'll have like 30 attacks. That's a lot of attacks for like a first year.
That's a lot of attacks.
That's like 10 times the average amount of attacks that an artfight user does.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I don't know if they made those averages if they counted all the inactive users when they made them.
Actually, that's a really good point.
There are a lot of inactive users.
There are a lot of inactive users. Now I'm really curious to know if they did or not.
They probably didn't. They probably didn't.
They probably didn't. But yeah, that sucks. Like for people already experiencing burnout, like 5 days in.
Yeah, like guys, please take care of yourself.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Remember to go outside, look at the sun for a while. Don't look at the sun, but
look directly into the sun. Actually,
look right at the sun. It will cleanse your eyes of blue light. That's how it works. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Clem is being evil.
Don't do that. Really, don't do that.
Clem's trying to kill us vampires by getting us to go out in the sun. Stay strong, vampires.
No, I just want you guys to glitter. This is the skin of a killer.
I will say though that like I haven't done this is gonna sound so evil, but like I haven't done any revenges yet. There are a couple that I am going to do, but I haven't done any revenges. I've only been doing pieces that like I had already pre-planned and like stuff like that, and it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, can I just say it is so freeing, and like I can just go and like go on random character and like find like I just found some like Pikmin to draw earlier, and I was like, I want to draw him, and then I drew him and I uploaded his attack, and I was like, oh my god, it's great. I don't have to do revenges.
Aww, that's so fun.
Although I will say, somebody drew something on my wish list, and I was like, it's so beautiful. I have to revenge you. This is like insane.
Well, yeah, of course. Sometimes you gotta revenge.
And like, I feel like that's a much healthier way of doing it, because I don't like it when people will attack you just because they want art from you without like without like if they're kind of trying to hide the fact that they were attacking you for that, because I can understand, right? Like I like other artists' art, like I usually attack people who like I like their art, and you know, like I like their characters and all normal. That. But like when people are doing it to like kind of be like, oh, can you attack me? Like I'd rather, if you draw something from my wish list, okay, I know that you like kind of want revenge, or that you wanted a piece idea, and I'll probably revenge you because it's a swag piece, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice.
That is nice. That's a nice way to go about it, I feel like. Because I think that's real. Like sometimes, yeah, you attack people because you like their art, and I don't think there's anything wrong about doing it hoping for revenge, as long as you like one, obviously don't force them to do like
be respectful
to revenge you, which that should be without saying, but you know, and also just like put care into it, I feel like, and then and if they don't revenge you, that's fine.
I mean, I've heard some stuff already about people like PMing people on site, like, why haven't you revenged me yet? And it's just like, oh, insta block, sorry.
No. That would be that would be an insta block. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sorry about that. Don't PM people that.
I may be a little sorry, but that's only because I can only view people who do that as like 13.
Okay, that's true. If you're out there and you're doing that, please don't do that.
Yeah. No one's obligated to revenge you. Obviously.
Yeah. Also,
But
it is against site rules. Not allowed to do that.
it is. And you could get in a lot of trouble for doing
you
it.
actually could probably get banned for doing that.
You could honestly.
I mean, you'll probably get
sure
like
you would get banned.
a warning. Like if you're worried that
Or a
if you did
warning.
it, you'll get like if you did it and you're like, oh god, I'm so scared. Like no, you'll probably get a warning. But like, it's not a good thing to be on the mods like evil lists. That'd be really funny if the mods did that. They just had a list that was like an evil list.
That'd be so funny, actually. I would love an evil list.
They just have an internal list on the site called like the evil list. They put people on it. It doesn't do anything. It's just there.
It's just for fun.
Just for flavor, really.
I want to be on the evil list now. Now you
Yeah.
made this sound appealing.
Well, now, yeah. Well, now in my extension, I gotta just make an evil list that puts just random people on it. You get an achievement that's just called added to the evil list, and you don't know what it means.
don't know what it means.
You're part of the evil gang.
Part of the evil gang. Stop, that'd be so funny.
I feel like Artfight should have more achievements. Have we talked
Honestly,
about
it should.
I feel like we have.
I don't think we have, but I agree with it. I think, like, achievements are so cute. Like, I like the... Sixbane has an achievement for, like, one of the longest chains from, like, a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's
it's, like,
so
a
cool.
specific... It has, like, specific art
Oh
for
my gosh, that's so cute.
them. If you, like, look over... If you go to Sixbane's profile, it's, like... It has, like, a little chain. It has their name and the other person who's in the chain.
That's
I
so
can find that
cute.
right now.
Wait,
I
want to
know.
see it.
It's adorable.
Oh my gosh, yeah, longest chain. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
only back when Revenge Chain 33 was long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sixbane and Mr. Boodle. And also Sixbane has a number one who's had the most points, which
Yeah,
I think
in
is cute.
2015. That's so
Like
cute.
a most points specific badge. That's pretty adorable.
And valedictorian. Oh, valedictorian is cute too. I wish, I just wish that, like, there were more niche ones. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's, like, one for tradering, you know, you get that every year, but, like, it'd be funny if
Yeah.
there were more, like, more niche ones.
I'd agree. Like I feel like it'd be cute if there were little Easter eggs on the site that got you
Yeah.
things. Or like,
Or just, like, attacks you
like-
could do that, like,
yeah.
like,
That would be cute because then it would like encourage people to try things too. Like
Or just,
maybe
like-
3D modeling.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, just something, I don't know what the title would be, but, like, it'd be funny if there were things where it's just, like, if your characters only have, like, furry tags and no humans, and you draw a human, it could be, like, switching side. It could, like, just, you know, like, really obscure achievements.
It's really funny actually.
I love that
That would be
kind
so
of shit.
cute.
Anyway,
I would love more achievements.
A little off
I
topic.
feel like that's definitely overlooked. Yeah, it is a little off topic.
But it's like-
I
some people don't know about achievements.
because they're not very like used aside
I
from
know.
like team. Like you were on this team, and
Yeah.
then like if your team won,
Well,
you
and
get
for
one.
and for the amount of attacks you do, let's not forget, you get one for doing like
Okay.
your first
I
attack.
forgot. See, that's how forgettable they are.
I think-
I forgot.
It just goes up to not even 100. It just goes up to 75.
That's it. Oh.
Yeah, Sixbane has
That's
definitely
crazy.
done 100 attacks.
Thank you, Sixbane, for having so many achievements so we can look at your.
Yeah, so we can look at all of the achievements.
Thank you, Sixbane.
Well, here's a question. Since Artfight started, like, what are you planning? Where do you want to go? You have any goals for this year? Stuff you want to try?
I have a few things in mind. I know I said last time I wanted to do more scenes that I
Mhm.
put a lot of thought into. Since we started, I know that specifically what I want to do instead of just scenes is I want to try more like compositional stuff that I come up with on my own, and less like, because okay, a lot of my backgrounds I would directly reference from something, and I might change like the lighting, and I might change up a few things about it. You know, like it's not like I would all the time just rip from the drawing. Although that's not the drawing, the picture. I did not take people's art and just like reference
Clem's
it.
an art thief.
I reference from pictures, but not that it's a bad thing. I feel like for like learning backgrounds, it's a pretty good thing to just like look at a background, draw a background.
Oh yeah.
But I'm at a point where I'm pretty confident in that I can draw a background from a picture. And I want to start more so trying to like using references and trying to come up with the background on my own, and like getting more confident in my compositional skills. I feel like I'm excited to try, and I want to do more, I don't know, just cool bullshit.
That's so cool.
As per usual.
I really want to do... Oh, sorry, you keep going.
Oh, I'm done. Go.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I have a lot of things I want to do. Well, on the agenda today is to draw my friend's OC, whose name is Lesbian Ball Hair, which is a horse. That's the P.O. Shout out P.O. I love your horse OC. They're so beautiful.
That's so glorious.
But I don't know. I want to do more intricate line work.
Ooh.
Because I want to study more like paneling techniques from like manga and comics in general, and have more like stuff going on in my lines, because you know, like there's a lot of black and white media out there, and I feel like when you take away color, you can't really use that as like a visual crutch. Like you have to have a lot more interest and like information conveyed through your lines when you don't have color. So I really want to experiment around with that, because I've done a couple attacks that are just like lines and not colored, and I was like, oh my god, these are so easy and also so interesting and fun to do. So I definitely want to do that more.
That's awesome. That sounds so cool. I'm gonna be really excited to see that. I love, like, that just sounds really interesting. Like, that's true. I feel like stuff like manga panels are like really overlooked. It has like how cool they can be when people like want to when people want to emulate the style of them. What they usually go for is like literally like the proportions of the art, and not like
the technique.
I don't know, like line weights or like line intricacy and stuff. So I'm gonna be really excited to see that from you.
Yeah, like when you start looking at stuff, and it's getting into like the inking space as well. Like when you start looking at stuff, you're like, oh my god, wait, they actually like did so much, like just for this one thing. Like this, you know, it's like in a chapter or whatever, it'll be like one panel. I'm like, oh my god, how do you even like begin to start doing that? So I'd like to try, because a lot of my lines are just like one line, you know, and it's like,
yeah,
it's cool, but like there's like no texture, there's no like volume conveyed through it.
I understand what you mean. And you want to work with like more, that's so cool.
And like tones as well. Like halftones, or just in general like washes. I've been really into like watercolor wash. I have this really cool watercolor brush, so that'd be really fun too.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love watercolor brushes. Washes are definitely fun. They're and it's so fun. Cool way to work with like limited color.
Yeah. It's also just like, it's so much easier to not work in color, because I don't have to go and color pick. You know?
That's kind of real, actually.
I don't like, this is a good like segue. I feel like you can talk about it because we have really different processes. But like,
yeah.
I was asking in some of the general chats in the Discord, like at a couple different times, like, hey guys, I hate coloring. What do you do? Like, how do you color quickly? And the thing that everybody always says is they're just like, I use the bucket tool. And I'm like, it doesn't work for me. Like, I think it's because I use like a textured brush that's like opaque, right? So like,
I also
like the difference between having color under the lines and having color inside the lines is visible. So like that's one of the things, which is so annoying. And then also just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I use Clip Studio, and like the bucket tool leaves like a gross halo. And if I increase the tolerance,
Oh.
because my line art is just like opaque, it like just goes over the lines. I'm like, guys, how the fuck are you supposed to color? Like, it's so annoying.
Oh god, yeah. Clip Studio, it's good if you have solid lines, I will say,
Yeah.
but I only really work with opaque stuff. And for me, I paint, so it's not usually an issue.
Yeah.
But I also don't use the bucket tool. um, I the thing is, like, if I told you my solution, you would literally, if you tried it, you'd probably want to like jump off a cliff or something.
No, I
Because
want to
like
hear.
coloring. But what I do is I'll make a copy of my lines,
Okay.
and then I close the outline of my lines
Okay.
for my sketch because I don't do line work.
Yeah.
I'll use the select tool to select all of the space outside of it,
Oh yeah.
and then invert it so that I only have
Yeah.
like inside the line. Fill that in with one color, and then I go through and I just color it in.
No, that's actually what I do right now. Except
okay.
in
Well, that's probably why you hate coloring.
yeah, in Clip, they have this like smart fill tool where you can just lasso around. So what I'll do is I'll just lasso the entire, like, basically what you said, like enclose the entire space that is going to be colored, and like you can just set it as a reference layer to have your lines, so you don't need to like, and it'll close gaps too, because I leave a lot of gaps in my line work. Is the other thing.
I didn't actually know that was a feature. That's actually really good to know.
It's really good, actually. I would cry if I had to select it every time, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's really good to know, actually. Oh my gosh, I just...
But I feel like maybe if I painted, I wouldn't hate, like, coloring as much, because, like, I just feel like coloring is very, like, brainless, I guess? Like, it's very monotonous, and I don't have to, like, put any thought into it. It's like, go over, pick the color from the reference, put the color where it goes. Versus, like, sketching, it's like, oh, I need to figure out, like, how to make this look, or doing lines for me, it's like, I need to figure out, like, how to make this look good, like, how do I add visual interest, like, in just the lines and, like, all that.
I understand. I think that makes sense. I feel like for pieces with line art, color can be very just thoughtless and just sort of slap it in there. You can add some generic shading. And I think for painting, it becomes own thought process. Because, like, yeah, sometimes I do color pick people's characters. Sometimes I don't, because it doesn't work very well with the lighting. So that's a whole different thought. And it's like, do I color pick this, or do I translate these colors better for the lighting? And then sometimes it's like, even if I put a multiplayer layer on it, that doesn't like automatically fix everything about the colors.
Oh yeah, no, that's
sometimes
my other.
You just have to take the color.
Yeah, that's my other thing. Is like I have like a lot of trouble, like matching the colors like into a scene. So like I can draw a scene and like I can put a character in the scene, but like I haven't had a lot of practice with like adjusting the character to fit into the lighting, I guess.
Oh, I understand. That makes sense. That's definitely a a very big practice and look at reference thing.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Well, actually, I should just start painting people's like characters into like old paintings. That'd be fun.
That'd be so cool. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love to see that.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Well, fuck
It's
it.
fun. A good way to practice painting. And you get to look at other painters' like styles and try to emulate them digitally, which is fun.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to emulate them.
No, I'd be down. I mean, Artfight's about practice. Like that's the main reason I keep coming back to Artfight, is like it truly is like one of the best things I can tell people to like practice with for any person who's trying to like be self-taught.
Because there's so many different characters.
Yeah.
And it's so lovely.
And it's like, it's not like a monthly challenge where like it's only you and like you're trying to like post it somewhere probably, and like the prompts, like, you know, Artfight, you don't have to draw every day, but like you just do what you can, and like it goes on for a month and like you get stuff in return too. I think it's like the perfect art event, TBH.
Honestly, yeah. I love Artfight. I love the format of
Artfight.
Artfight. It's such a good place to practice. I've always just used it as like a lovely little home to practice art in. I'm drawing at the same time and I can't find something on the layer.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I was going to say we should do next episode. We should do drawing. We should do drawing process stuff. That'd be so fun.
That would actually be so cute. That would be so comfy.
Because we want to do I want to do that idea we had for the PNGs. That'd be so cute.
Yes, it'd be so adorable. Oh my gosh. It's a secret. No one can know.
It's a secret. It's his next episode. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I feel like
this episode is...
I don't know. I feel like one of the interesting things, because I feel like I just have a lot of questions, I guess, about like people's motivations and stuff this year.
Mm-hmm.
And like I do artfight because I love artfight, and you know the reason why I was helping out like in the help channels when there were no mods in there is because I love artfight, and like, you know, I like giving to people and I like supporting people. I like helping people out, you know, and that's what artfight is to me. But I do wonder if some people are playing it just because they want like quote unquote free commissions.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, we've talked about this before, but I know that it's not explicitly against the rules to just put your characters up and not draw for people.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I understand why it's not against the rules, because then like some people, if they got like busy during the fight and just like literally couldn't draw something, like something happened. But I also don't feel like, I don't know, some people do come into artfight with the intention of like, I don't want to draw and I don't care about drawing.
Yeah, I will say
I just want art.
I think that there should be something in the spirit of artfight that's like about like you can't use the game to farm art only.
I really feel like they should add that,
and
just explicitly.
Obviously, like they can put a big caveat like saying, you know, most people won't be doing this. This is like a small subset of people.
Yeah.
And like the mods can just like treat it case by case, but like, you know, I don't know. It's just that I feel like just if we let it run unchecked, it gets to the point where we are right now.
No, exactly. I really feel like it's something that artfight needs to address, because it's I mean, I feel like it's always been a minor thing that happens on the site, but lately I feel like it just keeps getting bigger just because it's been unaddressed for longer, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's really reaching a crux point where, like, honestly, I think the people who are playing the game to give art, like, majorly, and not, like, get art, are, like, becoming a minority. And obviously I'm using the Discord as, like, a Geiger counter, because I don't have any other reference point for the people who just, like, play the game on site, right? But, like...
Yeah.
I basically only see, like, older players and, like, a handful of, like, new people who mainly talk about, like, how much they've done instead of how much they've gotten.
That's really interesting to hear about. And also really sad.
It is kind of sad. I mean, I get it, though. I like, people... I don't know, another thing I was thinking about, and, like, I don't know, the philosophy of, like, the spirit of artfight, kind of. Part of the spirit of artfight, to me, is, like... Artfight is, like, a space for, like, exploration, I think. Like, inherently.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to draw stuff, you're interacting with people, you're, like, meeting new people, you know, you're trying to draw stuff that you might not have drawn before, like, trying to get better at drawing stuff you have drawn. And I don't know, I see a lot of people who are, like, who I think kind of view artfight in, like, a fan art mindset, where it's, like, very transactional, like, oh, I like your character, let me just draw your character without connecting to them because I like them, I like how they look or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're not really, like, exploring the character in the same way. And not to say that that's, like, bad, because I think, like, I started out doing that when I was first playing the game. But I think, like, the artfight nirvana, if so to speak, is, like, understanding like connecting with people and like meeting people and like having friends, you know, and like getting to know their characters and getting to know them and like really having that interaction and like that exploration at that level. And I see a lot of people, I think, just like drawing and like wanting art back, and I feel like it's kind of holding people back from the real like experience of the event.
I'm nodding.
You're not.
That makes sense to me. I'm shaking my head. Yes.
This is like a very old man thing to say.
What's a very old man thing to say?
I'm like, oh, all you youngins fishing at the pool to just catch fish. You need to understand the fish.
I mean, I get it though. I feel like, because I don't think it necessarily always needs to be like a social aspect, I guess, of like connecting to people. Because I'll be real, most people when I'm like, we're art fight, like, not mutuals, I guess, but, or like, no, I guess mutuals. I don't like talk to them off season, but like I still have people that I'll like attack every year, like, which that's like one of my favorite things of art fight is having people you'll like just come back to and attack every year.
Yeah.
I think it's the cutest thing.
Yeah, and it's like, you don't need to, I'm not saying like you have to like find long-term friends from it, but like,
oh, no, yeah,
you know, that kind of interaction, I think even people are, and I think I saw some people who, because, you know, we have page dolls on our pages. Wait, maybe you don't. I do.
I don't.
But, like, lots of people will have older users, I think, more likely, like, have page dolls and, you know, friends who are on the site that have been around for a long time, so you, like, link to each other's profiles. And some people are like, oh my gosh, how do I, like, get into one of those, like, big artist groups? And I'm like, it's just friends. Like, it's not like...
It's people's friends.
It's people's friends, yeah.
That's just people's friend groups.
Yeah. Just talk to people, just interact with people, like, connect with them in a deeper way than just like, hey, I'm gonna draw your character and run away, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Chain them or something, or just like show interest in their character. That's a lot. I feel like that's a really big step for artists to just become friends, is just to show actual interest in their characters.
Well, I think some people don't think that like it's okay for them to like reach out, and maybe it's because I'm like hella neurodivergent, but like just it's okay. Like you can like be like, hey, you know, shoot somebody a DM, or if that's like too scary, like just reply to them like when they're in chat, and like they'll probably like you if you're not weird. You know, don't like overstep boundaries and just like have a good conversation with them, and they'll probably remember you.
Yeah, exactly.
This is actually art fight tip: how to make friends online.
I was gonna say, this art fight podcast has went from talking about like the spirit of art fight to talking about making art fight friends.
This is the really spirit cute. Of art fight. It's the spirit of art fight is friendship.
That was the message of art fight all along, which actually is not that incorrect.
Yeah.
I feel like, in terms of like just being nice to people.
One thing I think is kind of interesting, because you haven't done attacks this year, so like I don't know how you feel about it, but like I have kind of become like way more zen about points.
Oh.
Which is like kind of weird. But I think part of it is because I've been doing a lot of... Wow, thanks. Clem's like, no, the points are horrible, actually. Feel bad about that. No, they're still kind of bad.
I just think that's interesting, because I know we had already complained about points preemptively.
I think because... So when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing lined stuff, like without color. And that's going to like really cut down on points, right? But like, even though I was taking away the color... I've been doing more multi-character, like, interactions. Like, almost every attack I've done has been, like, more than one character. And I've also been doing, like, more scenes and stuff. So it kind of balances out in a weird way.
You see.
But I still think points are kind of, not the best, I will say.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm still glad that you're able to be more zen about that.
Yeah.
I haven't done that, so I will definitely see how I feel. I might still go insane, and then I might like fight you and try and take your zen from you, because pure
no, that's
jealousy.
real. We still have our gaslighting channel if you need to post in there.
That's so kind. That's true.
I think everybody should have a gaslighting channel.
We should. Yeah, I was gonna say we should describe the gaslighting channel for new viewers.
Oh yeah,
I think we've mentioned it before.
We have mentioned it before. But... last year when we were playing, me and my friends, we decided to make a channel where, because Clem and I were getting so, we were malding so hard about the points. We were coping hard time, and like, it's real. The point cope is real. But we made a channel where we just, like, posted art, and we're like, guys, how many points is this gonna get? Like, my rating's not working. And then everybody would just say, like, really high numbers of points. Like, oh my gosh, that's so good. It's the way to go. 600 points. 600 points. Like,
it is literally the way to go.
It's so smart. Just don't even post the attacks. Just, like, cover your eyes when you, like, click the point button, and then just go to your gaslighting channel and get gaslit about them.
Yeah, if you, like I do, hate looking at your artfight points, and I actually don't know if that's going to be true for me this year, but I did really bad last year, then just do that. Cover your eyes, look away, ask your friends how many points it is, and make them lie to you.
I will say though, Clem, okay, the way to trick your brain is just put another character in the attack. Just don't do one character attacks. Do interactions and stuff. It makes the points seem so much higher. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why. Because I think to me, like, in my brain, if I'm doing, like, full body, full color, fully shaded, that should break 100 points. Or scene as well.
Yeah.
Like, that should break 100 points. I think it does. Wait, I think scene does, maybe. I'm not sure.
It didn't last year.
Oh, it doesn't? Well, yeah, okay, fuck me then. But because I put a second character in it, it does break 100 points, and that makes my brain happy.
That's good.
Yeah.
I need to do more multi-attack. Not multi-attack.
This is us saying, do mass attacks till your hand falls off.
Oh, also, Damie.
Yeah.
There was something about artfight that I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
They changed something that we've complained about very
much. Oh,
yes.
Yes, they did change that thing.
We've complained very much about how...
They heard us.
Yeah, they heard us. If you're new, or this is your first episode, we've complained very much about how painting does not get more points than clean color, but it was a separate category in, like, the color.
Yes.
So it would make you think, it would, like, it kind of implies that it would give you points for it, or something, or, like, a different amount of points. But it was the same amount as clean color. But now, they have listened to our complaint, and they have made it clean color and painted into the same color category.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
So it's
it's
more
not
clear
beautiful.
now that they're the same amount of points. It's not beautiful.
I will say,
but it's more beautiful than
other thing, other art fight related thing. There is another podcast that I am on that Clem's not on. Sorry, Clem. I love you.
Wow.
Called.
It's okay.
What is it called? Fuck.
Amavanwia
is the long name, and then Amavan is the short one. So Ahmad, a vet, and a newbie walk into art fight, and Banani who's a mod, is on that podcast, and I talked about how painting doesn't get more points, and she was saying how it should get more points. So the mods are on our side, Clem.
Annie, if you're listening, Banani, if you're listening, thank you. My biggest hero. I'm blowing you 5,000 kisses right now.
We love you. Best mod, just because you said that. Shouts out to Banan in chat. Go kill their ratio. I'm kidding. Don't do that. I have seen people. I don't know. I feel like people overall this year have been, like, attacking more though. At least in the Discord.
I think I'd agree. Yeah, it's been nice this year. I've been seeing a lot of art from people, which is making me happy.
Yeah.
I haven't joined in yet, but I'm working on attack. I've been working on attack this entire podcast, so I'm not slacking.
That's so swag. I have just been sitting my ass down and talking.
Well, that's also real.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of interesting because, like, as the community aspect of Artfight has kind of gone down, I feel like the game aspect has, like, heightened in a way, but it's also weird because people don't get as excited about the game as they used to.
That is all very true, actually. That just made me realize
It's
it.
kind of like a big contradiction. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, there's a science behind it for sure, and scientists don't know the answer yet. But honestly, yeah, it's interesting. I wonder why. Maybe we might have a better answer to that further into the fight. Maybe.
Yeah, I think we should do updates.
We should do an update, and that could be maybe another we give our thought on. It's like,
Yeah.
why do we think art fight has gone up, even if people's hype for it has gone down?
Or yeah, like, but it's interesting because, like, you know, the way that I used to think of people being into the game, there were people who were very dedicated. And, like, you know, when the server was in Sugar and Spice, there were people who would, like, point keep, right, regularly in chat. There are people who are like, okay, I'm gonna do this mass attack and it's gonna, like, change the tide. You know?
Yeah.
And, like, maybe...
I remember that.
Part of it might be because the points are just so big now that, like, one person can't really do anything. So, like, what's the point of saying, like, werewolves are 100k ahead if, like, it doesn't even really matter, you know?
Yeah, that's honestly true. There's no, like, hype to point keep if it's not in, like, a close 1,000 range. It's it's out of our hands.
Yeah, it's like the Jeff Bezos
it's out of
thing.
any individual's hand.
Like, once you get to billions, a million doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I will say, though, I am kind of glad for that, because I don't know, I never liked the like the team Spice, Team Sugar, you gotta pick up the slack.
Yeah,
1,000 points, because that would be a thing I would see.
Yes,
being like,
all
guys,
the time.
You gotta get your attacks in, we're behind. It's like, what?
I will say it was fun to watch it go back and forth, though. Like,
it was.
I will say I don't think we're gonna be having any close art fight games like that anymore. Like Bloom v Wither, one person was in the lead like almost the whole time. I think Wither was in the lead almost the whole time.
Then we took it back, which is kind of cool.
And then we won. Bloomers
Yeah,
for the win.
Not to brag or anything, but
one-time art fight winner here. I've won more than one.
Are you actually a one-time winner?
No, I've won more than one. Fuck you. I've won like 2 or 3, maybe, I don't know. Well, I lost as Cyber.
When you said it like that, I just wholeheartedly believed you.
I'm trying to think.
I think I've won.
I think
2,
I won for coffee, and I think Spice won. Oh, Nightmare won too. Maybe I'm like a 4-time art fight winner.
Dang, I was Dream, Cyberpunk,
Dream,
Sugar,
Dream Enjoyer.
Yeah, it was Dream. Yeah, it was Dream. But Bloom won and T won. The greens be winning. Hey guys, this is a life hack. If there's a green team,
get on the green team.
Get on the green team, apparently.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
I think I've only won 3. This year 4 vampires, baby.
Oh yeah, no, this will be my 3rd year. Smile.
It's gonna be interesting.
Team werewolf.
I think points. Honestly, I want to have somebody on, like, as a guest to like talk about meta, because I feel like it would be super interesting to see if we can find like a user to actually like talk about the like game side of things. I
would actually be really curious to know
right?
if anyone's like a really big meta head of art fight, like they're doing strategy.
I think there is one person in chat who like reached out to me who was like, hey, if you ever want to talk about like game stats, like hit me up. And I was like, that actually sounds so cool.
That does sound really cool, actually. I would love that.
Because like I know a little bit about things, but I think we could also talk about like point farming and like, I don't know, it would be really interesting to think about like what the most effective type of attack to point farm is, at least at this point, because you know, like whoever did 3k attacks last year, like that's point farming, baby. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why they reward that
I'm not sure.
They really should stop posting whoever does the most attacks if, like, the attacks are, like, clearly point farming.
I guess because they just do it every year, so they don't want to explicitly not do it one year.
I know, they should just stop, though. They should be like, hey, guys, we realize that this actually encourages point farming, and, so we're deleting it.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I would be interested to see it if it wasn't abused for point farming, I guess.
Yeah, they should just send however many people... They should just send the username to only us, and then, like, you know...
True thing, actually facts. Let us know. Mud.
No, I was gonna say they should just secretly get a badge, but that would also encourage point farming.
That would, because then people would, I don't know, people would still want it.
I know. I don't know. I really do like the idea of like games within Artfight, though.
Oh, like because you've talked about wanting to make your extension.
Yeah.
Where you add games.
Capture the flag is currently happening. I have the flag. Okay, I'm winning right now.
We need to explain that.
So we're playing a little metagame where it's capture the flag. So whoever has the flag at the end of the time period gets bragging rights and a little thing that they get to put on their profile that says you won the flag and you're so awesome. And the way that you steal the flag is by attacking whoever has the flag. But, like, if a bunch of people are, like, drawing attacks for that person at once, like, you could get sniped, you know? Like, somebody could finish their attack before, so you gotta finish it fast. That's the that's the game. It's cute.
Fun.
And it's like...
It is cute.
Then, you know, it's like, it puts focus on different people to, like, get attacks, and I think it's cute.
Yeah, I would totally recommend to, like, any smallish, biggish friend group that you guys should totally run, like, a capture the flag. Or just, if you want to do this, I don't know, maybe, like, make a Google form of people in Artfight Discord.
I was gonna actually open up, like, a larger scale version of it the second week, if people were not burnt out by then, to play with.
That's such a sad thing to have to...
I know.
Week. Oh.
I hope people
If you're burnt out right now, please know that I'm giving you a kiss on the forehead.
Yeah. Go rest.
You poor thing.
Go sleep and play video games and, like, don't do Artfight for a little bit.
Yeah. Go do anything else.
Go take a nap.
Go take a nap. I would love a nap now.
We should talk about burnout next episode, though, when we do art stuff.
We should. That'd be fun. People in the comments also comment what you want us to talk about.
Oh yeah, if anybody has ideas for what to talk about. This one was a little bit all over the place, but I feel like, you know, okay.
That's the first week for you.
That's the first week for you. That's, like, it's all over the place. It's perfect. It's the perfect representation. I feel like, you know, like, the Socratic discussions they used to have in, like, ancient times, where they'd all just, like, lounge around in, like togas with a bunch of books and be like, oh yes, I think this about philosophy. That's what this is to me.
That's true. This is a
Socratic discussion.
That's so beautiful.
Like,
that's so...
For behind the scenes purposes, like, we have some stuff that we're like, yeah, we could, like, talk about this today. And then we just kind of talk once we get through it all. If it's not clear.
We decided what we wanted to talk about, like, last night, and we were gonna do the podcast, like, last night of recording. And we're recording this in the morning because stuff happened. But, like, that was the most notice we've ever given a podcast.
Yeah, normally we're just like, oh, what should we talk about? And then we just, like, do it, like, beforehand.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's the way it should be.
This one is a little more obvious, but...
It's just like the way you should play Artfight. Don't revenge people. Don't spend all your time... Actually, yeah, full stop. Don't revenge people, actually.
Never draw back for people.
It's... I will say, it feels, like, weird to not revenge people.
I will agree with that, actually, because I still have it, like, even though I say so often that I'm not gonna revenge people,
I'm gonna take away your pen.
Hmm?
Don't revenge people. I'm gonna steal your brush.
No, no, no. But yeah, I so explicitly say that I'm not guaranteeing revenges, but I still do like. Part of me does still like feel like a sense of guilt for it, and if that's also you, that's normal. And I'm giving you many, many kisses on the face right now.
I don't know.
It's.
I feel like it's kind of a. I think what really drove home for me the fact that I didn't want to do revenges anymore is I looked back on my attacks from last year that I started doing revenges as like warm-ups, and like
Yeah.
they were just so lifeless, and like I just felt bad because like I don't want to gift that kind of art to people. Like it just like it looked like I was just like, oh my god, I have to get this over with, like let me just give you something. And I was like, that sucks ass, why would I do that?
That makes sense. Yeah. I think what drives it home for me is that I actually like, if it's like anyone else needs another reason too, I actually like will avoid attacking people if they do 100% revenges. In like smaller scale games that I've done that are like little like not like art fight spin-offs. Well, I guess an art fight spin-off. I've played a few.
The diner.
Or the chaotic art event.
Yeah.
I very explicitly try to avoid people that do 100% revenge rate unless I really, really like their character. Because sometimes I will want to draw for them and I like their character, but I feel so bad when people like, and I know for some people it is like their own challenge, you know, that's their own fun. I don't mind that. I think that people should be allowed to just, if you want to do 100% revenges, if you find that fun, do it. But for me, I feel like I'm forcing them to draw my character.
Oh yeah. Well,
then I'm like, what if I just don't have a character they like? And it's like I never want to make anyone else like. If I never want anyone else feel like that, I don't feel like people. I'm trying to think of the same thing. Like people wouldn't want to make me feel like that.
Yeah. I think one of the interesting things that I see sometimes is people who are like, "Oh, I really want to do revenges this year," and I see that, and I'm like. There are like two reasons why you would say that. Like maybe it's because you just like want people to decide what you're drawing instead of you having to find them, which is like fair. Like especially if you're new to artfight, especially now, there's a lot of characters. It's very overwhelming. Target hunting is impossible to read. Like I get it, you know. There's always the random character button though, which is actually pretty. I like it. But, like, if you're gonna do that, like, you can just do a hit list. Like, if you just want people to decide what you're gonna draw, you know? And I feel like when people say, like, oh, I really just want to, like, revenge attacks this year, what they're really saying is, like, I wish people would attack me more. Like, in disguise. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it.
I can definitely see that being a thing. 'Cause if you're, like, saying it explicitly some places, because I feel like that is like a come draw for me, I'll draw for you back sort of thing, which but it's not horrible.
It's like not an ask, but it's just like a mindset thing. I feel like it's not.
Yeah, it's a mindset. It's a mindset.
But I think I don't know. I feel like it is truly like a better experience playing the game if you're not like constantly thinking about like how much art you're going to get.
Oh, for sure.
Because like the more you think about it, like the more expectations you have for the kind of art you're going to get as well, and like the I guess quality, it's a stupid thing to say, of like the art you're going to get, or the level of detail like of the art you're going to get, and setting up all those expectations, like you're just going to feel bad when they're not met because they won't be met.
Yeah. And it's better just go into it with like an open head entirely, so you're not like setting up expectation for things that aren't guaranteed.
Yeah, just like have fun in the drawing of it and have fun. Honestly, the one thing I will say though is like if you're out there and you're a person who doesn't comment on attacks and you get attacks that are not like an overwhelming amount of attacks, because like Sixbane like can't comment on all her attacks, like that would actually like give her carpal tunnel syndrome. But
dang.
She gets a lot of attacks, right? So
she does that.
But like if you're out there and you don't comment on attacks, please comment on attacks, because you know that's like if you're gonna play for anything, like I would play for comments, like seeing
Oh,
people's
for sure.
reactions
Comments
to
are the
stuff.
best part.
Yeah.
Even just leaving like a it doesn't have to be like a lot. I know I like to write big paragraphs, so
Yeah.
I'll like set it aside for when I can write the big paragraph.
Yeah.
Because I just like to let people know that I really liked it.
Yeah.
But if you're not that type of person, I just like leaving a little, oh, this is really nice. I liked like say what you like about the piece, like you like a specific way they did the eyes, you like their style, like a way they drew the character, and then just like, you know, like a thank you.
Yeah.
That's like the best. That's like the best and the nicest thing.
I
I
always
understand
do
that some people don't write comments because, like you said, overwhelming amount. I'm not like bullying people into writing comments,
Yeah.
but I think if you can, then you should,
Yeah.
and you should try. And I think even if it's just a small little sentence like, "This is really nice, and I like this. Thank you." Like that's enough for me personally.
Yeah. And I think one of the hard things about Artfight is like because the meta of it has like essentially become like, you know, contraband to talk about in the server. Like, you just can't really. It truly is like not a server about the game, because it's banned and like you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people look for some way to, like, find that game aspect, and for a lot of people it becomes like attacks. Like, how many attacks can I get? Like, how many defenses can I get? You know, but I think that it really, if you're gonna try and pick like a tangible thing that's not points to play for, I would play for comments. That's just, you know, just a.
That's actually so cute. I've never thought about playing for comments. That's adorable.
Yeah, I think it's just a healthier way to think about it.
No, it totally is, because then it's like you want to aim for the other person's like happiness with the piece.
Yeah.
And that's so sweet, and that's so much about the spirit of Artfight and the spirit of giving. That's I don't know why I said it like that. But
the Christmas spirit.
Christmas spirit, it's restored. I'm like in a cheesy movie where it's like Santa almost died because he had no one believed in Santa enough.
Artfight saved him.
But Artfight saved him, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think it is. I mean, I don't know. As the years go by, it does feel less and less like a big game event, though, and more like an art trade event.
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, doesn't it like, okay, this is insane, but doesn't it like explicitly show if like I don't know where it is on the site. I know if you send an Artfight link in Discord, doesn't it say like, no, on the front page it says the annual art trading game.
Yeah, it does say that. And like, it's because like, yeah, you give something to somebody and somebody else might give you something back, and that's still kind of a trade, quote unquote. But it does feel, it's starting to feel very transactional, I guess.
No, exactly. Like, I don't think the tagline is wrong. I just think some people not interpret that. I just, because, like, the mindset around it, and then with the tagline. I feel like the tagline, like, it just is sort of like now it's unintentionally, like, a yes, supporting the idea of, like, just a transactional art thing, and not like just gifting people art. Because that's what it was, you know. It's not. Yeah. It was never intended to be like transaction.
Yeah. This is why I think people should make Artfight manifestos. Like they make internet manifestos about like how, like their own personal thoughts on like what the purpose of the thing is and like how people should interact with it, and. Yeah, I think it's very freeing to like set boundaries about like what you think about the game.
Yeah, that's beautiful, actually.
In a
I think so
way.
too. I would, and now I need to make an Artfight manifesto.
Please, Clem, I would love to read your Artfight manifesto.
That's so lovely. I need to now.
I feel like I feel like a good note to like end on is that, you know, when we're saying all this stuff, like, I would say that generally I've definitely felt less positive about this season so far. And that could change. And it probably will change. But, like, when I say all this, I don't think it's unfixable. And I don't think that the issue is the user growth. I think that it's just that it's mostly a, like, information, like, a miscommunication, I guess, on, like, what the event is supposed to be and, like, how people should be interacting with it. So I think it can be, like, adjusted and changed, like, to any community size. And it's not just that the Discord is big that it's, like, getting bad. It's just, like, I think it needs to be nurtured a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think it's unfixable, and
I have hope.
I don't necessarily feel worse about Artfight this year, I will say, but I don't feel like better than previous years.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a fixable issue, and it's just a mindset. It's the mindset, really. There's a communal mindset that's been fostering, and
Yes.
I just think people need to let love into their heart more.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We need
Funny thing
to
say, and I don't like entirely mean that, but I just mean like playing for the playing for comments. Like, that's such a good example of something you can do, of just like, it's clearly for someone else's happiness more than just like transaction of art. And that's really what it is for me. It's like it should be a happy event for not just you, but for people you're attacking. It shouldn't be like it shouldn't be a transaction.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way I can put it. And there's no other, like, I didn't want to say transaction again, but that's like the best way I can word it, is that people have been viewing it like it has to be some sort of like transactional action. It doesn't.
Yeah. It's not a trade. Like, you can do mini games if you want to just give art and get art back. That's what they're for.
Exactly.
I feel like all of Artfight, we need to go to group couples therapy. Fix these issues before they get worse, you know. Put a little love into it. Remember the spark that we once had.
We were once a loving relationship, and I think we can still make it work, guys.
It's like, we're not just getting married for the taxes, okay? Like, all right. Anyway, this will be a weekly thing. We'll be doing it weekly, or maybe more if we have like guests on. But
true, actually.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Probably weekly though, because you know it's good to have a weekly. And I'll try and illegally sneak this link into the generals so that people can listen to it. So if you're listening to it from that, hey everybody, I love illegally sneaking links into general.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Okay.
And if you're from Gen, kiss, 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 kiss.
If you're from another server, blows you up, explodes you. No, I'm kidding. We love you too.
Wait, oh my gosh. Before we end this is like so unrelated to anything, but I want to say that part of a nightmare I had recently was that I got like 20 attacks on Artfight and I just started crying.
Oh my god. No, like, so many people I know have had Artfight nightmares where they get an unimaginable amount of like defenses and that they can't revenge them. What is this?
I literally had. Please, if you've had this nightmare, please comment that you've had this nightmare.
Please comment that you've had this. I know like 3 or 4 people who have had this. My Artfight nightmare was my brother created an Artfight musical, and it was really bad, but I couldn't tell him it was bad. Because he was my brother.
An Artfight musical?
Yeah, it was like surrealism about Artfight. It was bad.
Really
but like
awful.
it like got released and like the Discord like went wild for it. Like they were like putting all the lyrics in chat.
I think what this is saying now is that we need an
No. Oh, if anybody's had the Artfight musical dream, comment below.
There's no way in hell.
No, that would be insane.
Someone that dream, but from the perspective of like a chatter.
That somebody created an Artfight musical.
Oh my god.
That'd be
When you tell your brother about this, he's like, oh, I actually had that dream.
No. He was like, I had that dream and I thought it was a good musical.
Yeah, what the fuck? It was a really good musical.
Anyway, glad to hear that the art fight dreams are really staying strong out there. I'd love to hear. Comment down below your art fight dreams if you've had any. I love to hear art fight dreams, actually.
I really want to hear your
genuinely. We should read them at the start of the next episode.
Yes, please. If you comment your art fight dreams, we will read them at the beginning of the next episode.
That'd be so beautiful.
I will try really hard.
That'd be so beautiful. I'll try and get some from like my friends too, the ones that they had.
Yeah, that'll be so fun. Oh my gosh.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you do some attacks. Hopefully, you get some good comments. Get some good interaction. Stay strong, vampires. We love you.
Stay weak.
Stay weak, werewolves. What are you gonna do? Bark at me? Lol.
Vampires, be strong. We howl tonight.
You just said vampires, be strong. I'm gonna stop recording. Let's go. Vampire win.
Werewolves.